guys because they have so much difficulty telling me, and they say, well, geez, I think I want my hairline lower. And I say, listen, let's just cut to the chase. A feminine hairline should be here. And they feel so much relief that at least, I'm addressing their concern because I'll tell you, they won't talk about it most often.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I called an electrolysis to inquire, earliest inquiry about hair removal, I asked her if she removed male facial hair. And she said yes. And then she very tentatively said, "Are you looking to transition?"
Oh, there you go. Well, that's nice.
And it's surprising if you don't exactly know how to react to it, but it can be very comforting when the professionals you're going to have dealt with it before.
Right.
As the potential patient, I have no idea you've dealt with it before.
Right, of course not.
and it's so nice when the professionals can make you feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's awareness, and I'm not going to claim that I know everything about this because I certainly don't. But
you know how to make the hair come back.
Exactly, and to address it. I mean, I'm a physician. That's the bottom line. And anything that comes into the office, we will just address. And if it's something I can't handle, I'll find out who can. And it's just one of those. The doctor, is it Maynard? I think he's retired now, ready to die. I don't know. Who's the doctor in Montreal?
Menard is the older of the two. He did not do my surgery. Dr. Broussard, Pierre Broussard was the younger doctor. Did my surgery.
I've had about probably 4 or 5 patients who Dr. Menard had done. So
really?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think he's still practicing, but he doesn't do as much now. I think mostly it's Broussard.
Yeah, and for that matter, you may run into more. I hear there's doctors in Boston and New York that are starting up as well.
Yeah, there are more doctors than there used to be.
And who's the guy? Is it in Colorado? It was a very interesting story.
Yes. Marcy Bauer, who is a transsexual herself.
His patient.
Yeah.
Was one of his early patients. He's sort of credited with pioneering the modern transition surgery.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he still in practice? We don't know.
No, the elder is the elder. What was the man? I can't even think of his name. Marcy Bauer has taken over that practice, but the elder doctor is not dead.
Osterhout was either Florida.
Osterhout is San Francisco.
Yeah, California.
But I can't think of the name. But it's Trinidad, Colorado.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting place, but it's Marcy Bauer who does those procedures now.
Okay.
And they do quite a lot. And there's also one in Phoenix
there are the superstars in the niche market, and then there are the folks that have started more recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
well, I remember those. I don't know if it was Dateline NBC or one of the national news stories followed this particular older guy, and it was very interesting. Really interesting.
Either Marcy Bauer's doctor or Dr. Osterhoff was probably the one they were following. Those two were really big in the 90s.
Yeah.
They were some of the only doctors who were willing to be real public about the fact that they did. I mean, Trinidad, Colorado even got the nickname, the transsexual surgery capital of the world.
There you go,
yeah. Yes, interesting. I probably shouldn't go here, but I saw a thing. Some idiot had written something recently. This is a talk show host, I believe, that wrote something suggesting that the Columbine massacre, which Columbine is not far from Trinidad, was a result of the transsexual stuff that was going on in Trinidad. It was like it was crazy.
Stupid.
It was just insanity.
No.
But
No.
it was like
And it's probably been surpassed by Bangkok these days, but
certainly there's a lot that gets done in Bangkok.
I have 3 patients who went to Bangkok actually, relatively recently, the last 2 years.
There's I'd say 5 or 6 well-known doctors out there. The Phuket Clinic in Bangkok is really well known.
Yeah, which it's an interesting thing, and it's something. In fact, I considered a lot of different places, and that was one of the places I considered.
It's just responsible when you're looking for a doctor to do surgery.
Sure.
But it was just I was not going to fly to Thailand, to do that. This is crazy. I'm not doing it. And especially since Montreal is just around the corner.
So easy.
And
the surgeries are cheaper in Thailand because the economy is cheaper in Thailand.
Right.
Not because they do any worse surgery. but you have additional expenses of flying there.
Flying
Not
there.
flying there alone, for sure.
You have to bring
Right.
someone.
You want to bring somebody with you because you're going to be doped up for several days and bedridden, and you
Yeah.
don't speak the language.
Right. Oh no, it's a
Yeah.
big thought process to
Yeah.
go through.
So yeah, I went to Montreal. I love Montreal, but it's a 1 day's drive from here, which is why obviously I interviewed Dr. Broussard and liked Dr. Broussard very much, and made my decision based on a whole bunch of criteria.
How cute
But-
he wasn't one of them, right?
No, it was not, even though he is.
You have all cute doctors, huh?
I do, I absolutely do, no doubt about it.
She still denies it's part of her criteria, though.
It is not. It was not part of my criteria, but obviously Dr. Broussard is very experienced in this procedure, and the facilities up there were very nice, and it was close. That was a big plus, the fact that I could drive there in a day.
Yeah.
So that was, and it's good that there are, more and more we're getting doctors. There was a time when the stuff that we go through, you were traveling all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's getting much better now. There's a lot more doctors
Who are trained properly. That's the bottom line.
Right.
that are close enough so that it's become much easier.
Well, and the genital inversion surgery's been done now for 25, 30 years
Yeah.
under professional guidelines. It's well established.
It's very yes, it's a very well perfected
You know,
surgery.
I remember reading, I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s, when they started doing some of the serious bone reconstruction for facial feminization surgery.
Yes.
And it was considered a little sketchy at the time because the surgeons were figuring out how to do it.
Right.
Sure.
But that's come a long way in a decade, too.
Yeah.
What's the story? Is there an issue with pubic hair as far as transitioning from male to female? As far as that,
Yes.
I know everybody wants to have hair removed everywhere, but I've had a few patients women who wanted hair restoration, pubic hair restoration.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that was a factor with the procedure that it's
But you're
undertaken.
talking Mons area, though? Yeah. There's a hair issue with scrotal hair.
Yeah.
Because it becomes the labia. You can actually get ingrown hairs inside if the hair's not properly taken care of before surgery.
But how about aesthetic? That's a person's preference?
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
total preference?
Yep.
And
Aesthetically,
in
it's
fact,
preference.
probably what you're doing as far as transplanting pubic hair, is something that some people like us might want, because there are scars right in that
There
area.
are scars.
and they're not
Hair can cover the
they're not
scars.
they're not horribly noticeable, but yeah, I can see where if you didn't have hair there, you might want hair to hide scars. So
And hair pattern, male hair pattern versus female hair
different.
pattern.
It's
in
a little
that area
different.
there.
it's a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
So you may want to remove some here and there and add
It's
some
it's
here
just
or
crazy.
there.
We're taking it out here and we're putting it in here, and
That's right.
But
scalp hair restoration, I mean, obviously that's the
Yeah, that's the
main
bulk of the
factor of
business.
both businesses is the scalp.
Yeah.
And, restoring hair restores self-image in addition to
God,
everything
yes.
else. That's the
Yep.
biggest factor that a lot of people who have a full head say, what do you mean? They say, what's your hair? What big deal? It's one's crown and glory. I mean, when you think about that term, crown and glory, it really makes all the difference in the world to have hair.
yeah, it does. It was huge for me. And I mean, I can say that from personal experience. Once my hair started growing back in, and I had to wait. It was hard. My hair grows fairly fast, so I'm lucky in that. But yeah, it's a long wait, and it's hard. I was impatient, but once that hair grew back in, it's just like, wow.
Say, finally, it's happening.
It was huge. It was a huge boost for my self-confidence. It really was, and so yeah, I can see where and even for a guy, I can see where it would be, but
Well, for anybody, it's a matter of